fingertips, but not close enough. BDS take the lead. 41 seconds left in game 2.
Just a few pixels off for Chicago. And now 41 seconds for BDS. Extra gets the kickoff again. Something that BDS were so successful against Furia with were the kickoffs, constantly getting that ball out down to their third man, causing immediate pressure. G2 do put the ball back. Big miss from JNaps. Monkey Moon won't get the touch, but Extra's gonna push it forward. G2, JNaps. Overhead is Monkey Moon. Don't go. Puts it to the corner. 10 seconds. Atomic. No touch. Chicago. Light shot denied. Around the corner again. Here comes Atomic. Seiko unfazed by the bump. No time left. Monkey Moon pushes it downfield, and the ball touches the ground. BDS 2 games away from a world championship.
And you wonder if G2 is going to call a timeout at this period. They have been struggling offensively, even defensively at times. We saw some double commits. It didn't really haunt them too bad this game, but this is not the G2 that we've seen up to this point. BDS, they're running circles around G2.
It's the question that was rolling around in my head the final minute of that game for G2. They put on so many shots here. Monkey Moon, though, look at his score. 701 points, 2 goals, 4 shots, and 4 saves. Getting the job done for BDS here. They've doubled up their series score. And for G2, they've got a lot of work to do if they want to get back into this series.
And they did have moments where you thought they were going to be able to do it, but that was the play. Monkey Moon in a race against Chicago on the sidewall, and he got pole position. And BDS now inch that much closer to winning it all.
G2 really got to figure things out on defense. They just, on the back, why is the backboard free every time for BDS? Like Monkey Moon, on one of those plays, just kicks it up. He sees, well, nobody's here to defend. G2 will take a timeout. Smart. We've seen timeouts today really come into good effect for teams that have taken them down 0-2. Maybe it'll do so here for G2.
And we talk about, you know, especially coaches not wanting to let their players run into their last life in a best-of-7 or best-of-5 series, where you want to use that timeout and have a couple games to kind of get into maybe a play style change. You don't want to leave it till your final or possibly final game. And I think this is a smart chance for G2 to reset the medal, get themselves back into this series.
And this is a must-win game, and really, it's a must-score first game. BDS, their win rate when they score first is what now, 14-1? Oh. And so BDS, wow, their hot start has to be denied by G2, who has to come out swinging if they hope to get back into it, because a 3-game lead in the grand final, that seems like too much to overcome.
They got to find a way to download them, like BDS downloaded Furia in the last series. G2, they cleaned up against FaZe, and now they got to find a way to really close or shorten things up here against BDM.
Yeah, you say download them, but also G2, they could just go and start playing their own game. They haven't executed any play style here. Where's the against BDS? They've just been trying to stay above water.
But if you're BDS, all you need is that one solo play that can come from anyone on that team. Seiko, we've seen what he can do. BDS, a 2-game lead. What will they do in game 3?
Oh, it was an excellent drop pass to Seiko, but well defended. Atomic also demoing extra on the play. Now G2 starting to link up on quick attack. Atomic shuffled off the ball. Seiko forced out. Extra getting bumped out. JNaps giving a good look. A pass to nobody. But it'll be Atomic first to the ball.
That's really the question. They start to link up. Atomic trying to get a bump.
Oh, 2 go though.
On Monkey Moon, and the last man of Chicago trying to hold on. But it's back in possession at Seiko. This is a dangerous spot. Flip reset denied by JNaps.
Atomic keeping the ball close, hoping he can force the 50, but it's Monkey Moon who ends up winning it. He gets kicked over by Extra. Seiko drop pass, taken away.
But you look towards Chicago and JNaps. They've been the duo for G2 for so long. Such history behind that tandem. We talked about Atomic stepping up, but the offense really runs through those 2 players. You got to look towards them here as a minute has passed in game 3 to step things up after their timeout.
Especially with how good JNaps has been. A legend in this scene.
Demo.
Season 6 Golden Striker, Season 4 MVP. He has been around. The experience, undeniable. But all that experience is for this very game, this moment.
Ooh. Atomic launching it, but JNAVs can't commit. Monkey Moon had it covered. Nobody gets that touch. This is gonna favor G2. But then the touch is immediately shut down by Seiko. Monkey Moon light shot, but Chicago dives down. Another save. Continuous defensive duty for Chicago.
You don't want him there. You want him downfield. On offense, he's been having an MVP performance throughout this main stage, but he's been shut out here against BDS. Now Demo's rolling through for G2 on the BDS side, but no offense coming out from it.
Despite the woes on offense, G2 holding the line on defense. Now Chicago gets 1, 2 in front. Extra pushes it out. Nobody available for BDS. Not a lot of boost for JNAV. Seiko read him. My goodness, he got his crystal ball out. G2 will be able to push it back to midfield, but Seiko, he's in prime form.
Impressive confidence from the rookie on this stage. And we've seen rookies on the world stage pull off crazy things before. If you remembered Season 5, Jorby.
Oh, I remember. Seiko passed over to Monkey Moon. Push back out downfield. JNAV gets one look at it. Gets bumped by Monkey Moon. Oh, and Seiko can't get the dunk. Chicago in front. Got a 50. Lands awkwardly backwards. Can't get the 50 out, and BDS just locked down. And G2 can't find the key.
BDS are an absolute wall right now. Nothing that G2 is throwing at them is breaking through. BDS so consistent, and every third of the field, it's a battle for every inch.
JNAV's got enough boost for this one. Pushes Monkey Moon out of the way. Loose ball. Oh, and a weak touch here from Chicago. Had a lot of boost. Didn't want to shoot directly on net. BDS had 2 defenders ready for it, but he ended up giving up the ball. Seiko pushes it by, and BDS get out.
And Extra's downfield. What's he going to do? He picked up the boost. Rotate out, but you can see BDS starting to hunt and recognize G2 scrambling a bit, offensively, defensively. They're bleeding, and they need to stop it.
JNAVs will get the boost steal, but BDS get the boomer. Atomic, back over to JNAVs. Starting to win those midfield touches. Atomic got the touch, but there's Monkey Moon again. There seems to be 2 of them on the pitch as he gets the ball back to midfield.
Final minute here in Game 3. And a lot of the play has been spent in the midfield, and especially on that BDS side, but the defense has been so strong. Now Extra trying to show some offense, and G2 bumping him out of the way.
Oh, Extra waiting. The ball just ripped a little too hard for him. And Extra has also looked excellent today. Here comes, he whips it back around. Got 2 touches, Monkey Moon in the air. And he won't get to it, JNAV. But Seiko gets a loose ball. Little wide. Atomic knows he's got the space, takes his time, gets the ball to midfield.
G2 looks so scrambled defensively. BDS really spreading them out, especially across their own goal line. Feels like BDS knocking on the door here. Seiko denied once again by Chicago.
They're in trouble. Extra got the boost steal. Looking for a bump. JNAV barely gets the touch. Now Monkey Moon up the side wall. Only 16. The pitch denied. Atomic gets there in time. While it looks shaky, they have kept the booties level. Here comes Extra. Take it up again. Seiko pushes it downfield. Monkey Moon got the lead. The net covered by Seiko. He gets there in time. 0 seconds. Chicago pumps it up in front. Denied by Monkey Moon again. And Chicago won't let it play. Overtime in Game 3.
And this is a must-win game for G2. Otherwise, BDS, it looks like they'll cruise to a world title.
Oh, a big miss. No one from G2's there. They went for the dunk. Now Monkey Moon's downfield. A pass in front. Shot! Goal! 1 game away from a championship.
This is why Seiko's on BDS. The pass across the box. The last man in Chicago can't make the save this time. And BDS put G2 on match point.
This is why they made the move, Corelli, for this single moment. The world title on the line. A moment that has been building for seasons, for years, all leading to this.
So much to prove for BDS. Making everyone think, are they the best team in the world during RLCSS? Then they win the fall major. Then they make a roster move. They add Seiko to the roster. Things don't work out at first. Then they come here to Fort Worth. And people are thinking, is that BDS? Are they really still here? Some people still believe, but I think a lot of people had doubt. And now, there's no questions anymore. They're about to sweep G2.
There's no question because they've had answers. Seiko having an answer in that overtime. A cold stone killer of a rookie. And Seiko might help elevate BDS to the World Championship.
If you're watching right there at the end of that match, Seiko, a big sigh of relief. He took a huge breath, let it all out. He knew how much that goal means to him, and now one more game from a championship.
But the job is not done yet. G2 still have one more life. Will they lose it?
We have seen history break itself already today. We've seen the iciest team in Rocket League lose. Atomic, he says, guess what? This match ain't over yet.
Good morning, G2. The crowd going crazy for that goal as they finally get on the board. You felt like they earned one in the previous game with how much pressure they had, but BDS defense was just too strong. It takes them 8 seconds here in game 4.
And G2 also very good when they score first, 15-2, and they need this win, must win, season on the line, everything coming down to this for G2.
Oh, popped up, Monkey Moon's there. We talked a lot about Seiko, but how consistent, how clean has Monkey Moon played? There he is again. He's been the conductor on defense. But here's a touch, high. JNAP hoping he can push Monkey Moon off the ball. Chicago forces all three to commit from BDS. Leaves it open for JNAP. Shot too late, and Seiko's there to take it away.
Look how many options BDS covers at one time, even in a double commit. G2 had to put it there. There was no option to the far side, and here they come again.
Atomic,
pass over to Atomic, but can't connect.
Oh, Atomic so close to getting a strong shot on the ball. It was a beautiful setup for JNAP, just too far out of reach.
Ball popped out, and now Seiko gets a free look. A lot of boost. Atomic shakes the ball away. Chicago just got kicked. JNAP's got a lead man downfield. Ball hits the ceiling, kills his attack. Now BDS. They have been impossible to break through. G2 get through one time, but they've only ever been able to break through once. Who set up in front. Monkey Moon gets there again, and he always seems to be the guy that denies G2. But he's gone this time! Chicago has opened the gate!
The big kahuna belly flopping on that ball. Chicago, massive goal and a massive moment.
A little extra cushion here for G2. They've got 3.5 minutes to hold on. BDS finally showing some holes in the defense here.
2 touches for Atomic to get it downfield. Seiko letting it drop. Atomic, another touch in front. Monkey Moon tees it up high. BDS forced to respond down 2 goals, first time in the series. Seiko whips it back around, but now he's not winning that corner challenge anymore. Atomic kicking it up, and Chicago up quickly for the ball, forcing Seiko to push it back to the opposite corner.
Good work again from BDS.
Oh, it's open.
How quick they get out. Extra was wide open. Extra. How did he get that angle, and what happened to the defense of G2?
I don't think anyone was expecting Seiko to get a light touch out to Extra. Extra zooming along the wall. Everyone's thinking Seiko might just clear it, and it would be an easy ball to get back to, but Atomic, he was stunned by the fact that Extra was there and putting a shot right on net.
You could see him panic. Atomic trying to get back, and now in a tough position as Monkey Moon denies his touchdown. And G2, not the goal you want to give up. BDS so consistent through 3 games now. You feel like they might just catch up here in game 4.
Monkey Moon, first up. Seiko has to pull off the ball. Atomic using that hood to keep it close. Maybe getting a bump. Chicago and JNAP linking up here. Nothing there again. G2 forced the whole way back to their own half. Chicago gets a demo, but your team's playing defense. Monkey Moon, he got deleted, and now the pass clear for Atomic. Drops down underneath, pops it over 1, 2, in front, but Chicago is playing so close, and now Seiko run away deleted.
A crucial tempo there. You don't want Seiko on the ball chasing towards your net. 2 minutes left to play. BDS looking for another. A drive from Seiko is denied by Chicago.
Critical touch there from Chicago to break up that double tap. We know that Seiko has that on lock.
Defended on the back wall. G2 have to open up the middle of the field. They cannot use the back wall or the backboard. BDS simply won't let them. It's their territory, and G2 aren't allowed in.
Every touch that G2 gets on the BDS side is instantly met by a BDS player. You can see Chicago trying to play this one across the box, but BDS, a quality clear to slow G2 down.
Atomic trying to find the back wall, again denied. Shot on target, Atomic gets in the way, but it wasn't good enough. Seiko, pop, Monkey Moon in the midfield. He's got one, he wraps around and just can't get around it. BDS do have to respond. Despite the woes, they've got those 2 goals. It's been enough to hold the lead as we approach the final minute. Extra push back over to the corner.
Atomic trying to force that one, and now Extra trying to make a pay. Seiko on the far side. Met by Atomic again. BDS, 50 seconds to make the difference here for a championship. They've got to tie this one up.
As you can see, Chicago awkward there, driving in reverse up the wall. G2, they need an insurance goal. Can they get one here?
Atomic going for the fake on the challenge. Oh, Monkey Moon scoops it up. Got control again. BDS looks so threatening, but the miss from Monkey Moon, it just works out. Seiko whips it back around. Monkey Moon's gonna get the boost steal in the corner. G2 have enough boost to be able to handle that. JNAPS gets the 50, with a continuous touch, not there. G2 have done enough. 15 seconds left, they have to hold the line.
Extra might make it difficult. He's chasing the last man. It's Atomic on the clear. Still dangerous. Another demo come out. JNAPS out of the play. Chicago also went in. BDS, they have to keep this up.
BDS tightening it. Down. G2 survive.
And that is 1 game down. But G2, they will have to make history if they hope to come back and win the World Championship title. We have never seen anyone perform a best-of-7 reverse sweep on land to win it all. And G2 will have to do it.
Against one of the strongest teams Rocket League has ever seen. A team online, years in the making for this moment.
Something we always praise BDS for over the tournaments is their ability to adapt. Their ability to adjust to what their opponents are doing. Having this massive of a lead gives them so much time to be able to figure out how G2 are getting by, figure out why they can't get by the defense anymore. And so it's gonna require a peak G2. It's gonna require a G2 we haven't seen for the first 3 games of this series, and even part of the last game, James.
And no more timeout.
Yep.
Yeah.
No more timeout. It's all in from this point on for G2. Meanwhile, BDS will feel comfortable. They were within 1 there. They had opportunities in the final moments. BDS, they can smell it. It's so close. It's about to materialize. They just need a little bit more work done.
It could all end here on Wasteland. And BDS, they smell it, they taste it, they want that championship.
That's how you take the wind out of the sails of G2 when JNAPS not getting the challenge off the rip. It's Extra to strike first.
2 seconds. And BDS already making G2 feel the pressure. Monkey Moon. No touch. Until he comes straight back down. Extra. Perfect read. And gets a perfect hit back out to Monkey Moon.
It's so crucial here for G2 if they want to stay in this series to quickly tie this one up. Time, such a factor here in Game 5, backs against the wall. And even if we just started now, BDS still knocking on the door. It doesn't get any easier.
And not to mention BDS now 15-1 when they're scoring first, and now they're gonna get another one. Extra has stepped up in this grand final.
Extra, extra. I got a second one. Bounced it off your car. Put it in your net. And with 4:19 left, BDS, they don't give up goals easily. Their defense has been immaculate. What can G2 do, Corelli?
It's only started. And what can they do? They've got to work on the kickoff. First of all, G2 letting them in and shaky off of that kickoff. Now Extra again for 3. It's off the post. JNAPS makes the save. Another one off the post from BDS. Early. It's denied again.
And maybe that will be the spark that
should have been the third goal for Team BDS, but somehow it doesn't go in. G2 will need to build off that, otherwise BDS will be walking away as champions.
You gotta feel like a third goal. That's almost impossible territory for G2. They cannot let that third goal go in. They need to find a way to respond, and they have to do it quickly. BDS, they're making mincemeat right now of G2. That shot, no good. Monkey Moon right on top of it.
G2's play style completely smothered here. A great demo, but again denied. BDS's defense, a master class against such a strong offense in G2.
Oh, it's just off the post. Seiko almost found it. And now Chicago underneath. Atomic playing it quickly, but JNAP's had to play defense, waiting for Seiko. Seiko flips it over one. Almost got the bump. Extra forces the 50 off another. And it just doesn't feel like BDS can do anything wrong. No matter what they do, the touch works out. The 50 goes their way. Finally, Chicago gets a break on the corner, 2 touches, but Monkey Moon's there. G2 have not done enough to force BDS to respect them on defense, to actually whittle out down everything that they've worked for. Extra's gonna get his boost. All of BDS are just, they're eating, they're feasting, James.
They're eating G2 for breakfast right now, and it looks like they might have a second breakfast. BDS, they've been taking it to G2. We see a demo on the goal line. We're past the halfway point. This is a chance. Rebound. That will go wide.
Pushed again, but that's a BDS ball. Right pass. Another pass. Seiko gonna push it downfield, and every blue touch is gonna be more time chewed off that clock.
You can see the possession combining with each other downfield from BDS. It's so tough for G2 to track, and offense not going their way at the moment.
Monkey Moon deleted. Ball underneath, but Seiko's there to cover the option. Light pass, Atomic 50 in front. JNAP protects the counterattack, but Extra's right behind the ball. Chicago trying to prevent the inevitable. Monkey Moon takes that ball, but it's denied. JNAP desperate for a flick. He gets one. But can they get by Extra? Can they get by Monkey Moon? Monkey Moon gets bumped up early. Chicago, nothing. Extra's in front. The shot taken away. There's nothing there for G2.
Players just barreling out of the BDS net. And G2 met by every single defender. 2 are there for BDS again. Now Chicago into the air with some space. He comes down. He goes wide. BDS deny once again.
Almost 70 seconds left until BDS are world champions. G2 fighting, finding a way. JNAP popping it up high. Not a lot of boost left. He's lost the ball. Another clear and more time eating away at G2's hope.
And all that blood, sweat, and tears scattered throughout the season, leading to this moment. BDS, less than a minute left to go.
Up high, JNAP, he's got a lot in the tank. He's got the backboard open, but it's taken away. Monkey Moon diving back again. BDS, impossible to beat. Extra, getting that one down. 30 seconds left until BDS are champion.
G2, they've got to find something. Is it Chicago in the corner? A follow-up.
Oh!
It goes wide. Seiko doesn't even have to go.
20 seconds. G2 deflated. And they've got nothing. BDS, one more. Oh! Monkey Moon puts the dagger into G2's heart.
There are no more questions that can be asked of this legendary Team BDS squad.
12 seconds. It might as well be a victory lap around Wasteland Night. Seiko around the corner. G2 to the scrapyard. Team BDS to the hall. Your world champions.
Team BDS stands alone at the top of the world.
Legends in the making. Now, legends made.
No more questions. The book is complete.
Fans, give it up for your winners and new Rocket League champions of the world, Team BDS!
Dickies Arena. Give it up for your world champions of BDS. The journey has been long. We have waited 973 days to crown a new world champion. Now here we stand. I mean, I see the emotions in your... What does this feel like?
I have no words to describe how I'm feeling right now. I do not even realize that we won. And thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Crowning a champion doesn't always come with a good side of things. There are sacrifices that need to be made to get to this very stage. I want to touch a little bit on the sacrifices that you guys have had to endure to make it this far.
I mean, esports job, no matter what, like players, manager, coach, is like a 24/24 and 7x7 job. You have to take care of every problem that can possibly happen. I'm talking as a coach, of course, but it's a lot of anticipation, it's a lot of thinking, it's a lot of understanding who you work with and adapt to them. So yeah, it's a lot of sacrifice. You have to think a lot and take decisions. Of course, I'm not the only one to take decisions. I do it with them, and being world champion means that we took good decisions. So I'm really happy about it.
Extra, just the same question for you. Anything you want to add on just the hardships, the things you've given up to be on this very stage?
I've sacrificed a lot since London. Top 16 is not a good result for us. It's very hard mentally to bounce back from this, and I'm happy to prove everyone here that we are the best team and the best team in the world.
And you did. Now, you had success at the Stockholm Major. Roster change happened. Things didn't really go your way. Was there ever any doubts that entered your mind for the team's success and your journey this year?
I mean, Seiko's rival is a pretty good thing for us. Very good event if we did very good. Mark as well. Shout out to him as well. And yeah, I have no words to describe anything right now. Thank you.
Extra, my friend. There are many people out there who want to be just like you. They want to stand on this very stage one day. Fellow players of yours. What is the message you have for them? The grind, the sacrifices, and what it takes to get here.
Honestly, don't ever start to doubt about yourself. Just keep pushing and you will get there.
One final question here. What does it mean for you guys to be able to share this stage together? It's not just you, it's you and your friends and your teammates. What does that mean for you?
I mean, my team is my family, my second family, so that means everything to me.
Family is everything. The tournament has been long. The year has been long. For everybody here in attendance, all 13,000 of you, and for everybody watching at home, I give you the best team in the world, BDS.
days, but finally, we have a new world champion.
What a story for BDS. The onliners, the team that made their name through the online period of RLCS. RLCS X, strongest team. They also dominated this season, and they proved they could do it all once again. To be at the top for 2 years in Rocket League is one of the hardest feats to do, and they've done it here again.
They made a massive move picking up Seiko, and when they did, we said, you know what? This could be the best team in the world, and they proved that here today.
And 10 months is a long time through a season. BDS, there was times when people thought they couldn't play on this stage. They were 0-9 between the Winter Major and then the Spring Major. But they came into this through the main event because of all the points that occurred. They made it through the upper bracket. They never lost in this tournament.
And you got to give it to them, man. You really do that. To go through what they've gone through. The adversity, the speculation, the doubters, including myself in the RLCS online era. Everybody's saying you got to legitimize it on land. You got to do it. They did it in fall. Then ever since then, they went 0-9. They dropped Mark, pick up Seiko. It still didn't work. And yet they continued to push and push and push. And now, they sit here as world champions. Nothing short of incredible.
We were talking about the Dignitas era previously. Then we've talked about how BDS ruled through the online era. I think it's time, Gibbs, we call it what it is. We're in the BDS era. It's their world, and we're just living in it.
Absolutely. So this is a new era of Rocket League. We're done with half-season world championships. It's full year. BDS throughout all of online, we thought they would contend for this. And now they've won it all.
They had so many doubters since their success at the fall major. Obviously, they had the roster move as well, but I think they proved that, you know, all that matters is the World Championship. Do it on the best day, on the biggest stage. And they proved that, you know what, take the final major off. Rest up, recover, and come back strong. These guys, they're living up to expectations. I'm sure their expectations is to be the best team in the world. And they've done that today.
I mean, Seiko, a relative unknown before this this season of RLCS, and came in and straight away on endpoint looked amazing. Dominated one of the strongest players we've seen. And putting these three players together, they play the fundamentals of Rocket League better than no other team. You cannot out-fundamental this BDS roster.
That's right.
and they deserve the success, and it shows to all those less mechanical players out there. Obviously, you have to execute well, but you don't have to do anything flashy to win a world championship.
This is Gregan's dream right here.
I love it.
Nothing but fundamentals wins the world championship.
I'm coming back, baby.
Oh, man. Go ahead.
I was, Gibbs, how early did you predict that BDS? When did you say that BDS was going to win this?
You know, I don't want to brag. It was like a month and a half ago, but you know.
As I said, I think a lot of people did when Seiko came on board, right?
Yeah, but that was after 0-9. I did it after London Major. But, you know, I'm not gonna
listen. Seiko's a world champion, but it's also important to say that Mark by 8 is a world champion as well.
What a shout.
Oh, my gosh. It's just, you got to be happy for him, man. I'm not even
And on this stage, though, as well, because we've seen 3 majors. When it's in NA, then NA wins it. When it's in Europe, then we see Europe win it. But BDS to come in here.
That's how strong they are.
And beat them versus G2, a fan favorite. The crowd was behind them after every goal, but still, they persevered.
They didn't give the crowd the opportunity to be behind them. They shut them down.
They didn't, and I think they loved that situation as well. Seeing Extra pop off for every goal. And to their credit, they came in hot into that grand final, and G2, that looked a bit cold to start off with, and they didn't give them an inch. They kept the foot down. And they gave them a game in the end, but I think that was just for respect.
That's something BDS have done this whole season, though. They make teams look worse because it's so frustrating to play against a team doing simple stuff that well because there's no space on the pitch. You don't feel like you could ever break them down. So you start second-guessing every touch you make because if you make a slightly wrong decision, you're going to get counterattacked for it.
And you feel in your hearts for Chicago and JNAPS the exact same situation, exact same score line as in Season 7.
It felt very similar to Season 7. You know, the whole top 8 all on the final day with the quarters, semis, final, and then have this European team come in and upset G2 in the final, taking the first 3 games, going down 4-1. It's so many similarities. So G2 are going to be feeling that symmetry.
To their credit, though, they hadn't really put a foot wrong until this grand final. They were flawless. They were so clinical with G2, but unfortunately, they just came up against a better team on the day.
Ripped the floor out from under them there, and we've been talking about Seiko, how strong of a move that was. We've been talking about him being the obvious choice for Rookie of the Year. How about one more accolade? We have votes for MVPs here at the event. The overall MVP for our Rocket League World Championship going to be Seiko here from Team BDS. Congratulations to Seiko, World's MVP for LCS 21.
What a performance. He led in goals per game. He was a catalyst for the BDS offense, and that's what they needed. They needed to quiet this crowd early, and that's exactly what he did.
They did. Phenomenal. I mean, he didn't put a foot wrong the whole time, and I think the important thing as well with BDS is that Extra stepped up as well in that.
That's facts.
And it wasn't just the Seiko show, which we sort of had early on in the tournament. That whole team was incredible.
I want to tell a little anecdote of Extra. I met him back in 2019 when I was with Vitality, and he came up to me and he said, I want to be like K-Dop. I want to... We chatted for a bit, and I just looked back at a message from him saying, I want to be the best rotational player in the world. And that's always been his aim, and he showed it. Fundamentals, rotation, that's always been his goal. And yet, even here in the final, he stepped up in every other aspect of his game with some of the best goals of the final as well.
He was incredible. Now, we do also give out an MVP for offensive and defensive player of the tournament, the offensive MVP. And a wonderful shout out to the runner-up here. It's going to be Chicago and the performance he put on, not just through this grand final, but through the entire event.
Yeah, he was fighting for goals per game lead the entire tournament, and G2 came out red hot throughout that main event. When they played Furia, where we thought it was the best series of the entire land, Chicago was that man on the offensive side.
We have top right Tommy. We're probably going to name the other top left corner for Chicago. He was finding consistently every single series, so full respect to him. He was dominant.
Wonderful performance from him. We heard from Extra the entire time. He's been the primary spokesman for the team. We've talked about Seiko being the overall MVP. The only player we haven't really said by name up here is our defensive MVP of the tournament, going to be Monkey Moon. Monkey Moon taking home the defensive MVP title.
And historically not known for his defense, he was more the offensive powerhouse of BDS when they had Mark on the team, and he's taken up that role, recognizing that Seiko was the stronger offensive player, so he's looking to leave that space for Seiko, which is such a mature approach for any pro player.
That's so huge. Defensive role.
Yep.
And now we see it with Monkey Moon. He wanted to win. That's more important than player accolades. He still got one, but he wanted to win more than anything.
And that shows how great he is. When they picked up Seiko, it was who's going to be the best player on the team? Who's going to get the numbers? Monkey Moon, and I think losing in London helped them out phenomenally, because then they figured it out. It's like Monkey Moon realized, I just got to let Seiko go, and I got to fill in.
Hell yeah.
It's been an incredible season. We've had so many games, so many teams, so many regions competing, and we could not do it without the regional managers that helped make this possible. Big shout outs to Ben, Dylan, Herman, Jaden, Mateo, and Nish for their work keeping our scene afloat, but we could not do it without you. Thank you so much to all of the fans. Thank you so much to the casting team, the players, the production crew in the back. Thank you at home for watching. Thank you. This has been RLCS 2021. I'm Wave Punk. I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, my boys.
What would they win by?
Well, at first, let's see. It was the game the best. I was trying to live stream it throughout the way through, but my internet decided to cut out. But
2-2. Best of 3.
Yeah. Wait for it.
Let's see, did he get the double tap? Yeah, he did. Yeah. I'm coming for that spot now. Sorry, BDS, I'm coming back. I think it's time to join up on this and start something.
Hell yeah. The moves that they do is so fucking awesome. Yeah, like I was watching this throughout the whole thing. I couldn't even just focus. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. That makes me want to try now.
I think it's time for me to start practicing.
Uh-oh. Hold on, I gotta deal with something.